Hello friends, in this video we will see another question being asked in Google interviews. This algorithm is known as flood fill algorithm, and it's similar to the one we use in uh, paint tools, where we take some filling tool and we drop this ink on some pixel, and it fills that color of paint in all the neighboring cells, all the connected pixels which are of the same color. So we will do exactly the same here in this problem. So suppose we are asked to fill this grid with color, let's say 5 at position 3 and 4. So we will apply the flood fill algorithm at this position, and we have to fill the color 5. So every number inside this grid represents a color. So 0 represents one color, 1 represents another, 2, 3 and so on. So 5 is another color that we want to fill here. So what the requirement is that, so you note down what is the color of the pixel where we are doing the flood fill. So it's 2. Now we will see all the connected pixels. So we will look at the 4 neighbors. So if this is the pixel, then we will look at this pixel, top, left, bottom and right pixel. So these are the 4 neighbors of this pixel. So if they are of the same color, then we will apply 5 on them. So let's say 5 is denoted by this green. In our code we will replace 2 with 5, but for illustration purpose let's assume that 5 is the green color. So here we start with the 2, we note down the color 2 and look at its top. So it's 2. So we apply flood fill here. And now from 2 we will look at its neighbor. Its top is 0, so we will do nothing at the top. Its left is 2, so we will fill it. Similarly this side. So this should be the output of our flood fill algorithm. So how we will solve this problem? So this is again a simple problem. So our function is flood fill, which takes one 2D array, in this case 10 by 10 array, and then the pixel position, so px and py, and the new color. So for this case, this is the above array, this 8, 10, 10, px is 3, py is 4, and new color is 5. So how we will attempt it? We will note down the previous color. So whatever is the color value at this position, we will note down that is the previous color. And then we will call some helper function which will be recursive, where we will pass the same array, same pixel position, same new color, and additionally the previous color also. So what this function will internally do, it will check the boundary cases like px is less than 0 or px more than its size, in this case 10, or py less than 0 or py more than 10, then return. So this will These cases will arise when we are recursively calling its neighbor, and this pixel at the edge is also connected to it, and then it will in turn call to its left the same recursive function, but in this case it will be less than, it will be out of bounds. So this check is important. So in this case we will return, and additionally if the pixel value at this is not equal to previous color, then also we will do nothing. Otherwise we will update the pixel value at this position to new color, and once we have updated the value at this position, we will call the same recursive function on all these four neighbors. So we will call flood fill recursive and the same array, and then px minus 1 py new color old color, and similarly this function on px plus 1 py, then px py plus 1, and finally px py minus 1. And this function is called here inside this main function. Here we note down the original color for the pixel where we were applying this flood fill, and after some bound checks and this color check, we will set the pixel to new value and recursively call it on all the four neighbors of this pixel. So this will apply the desired color to all the connected pixels. So now let's write down the code for this. So our main function will be flood fill, and it will take one grid, in this case 10 cross 10, the x and y coordinates, and one color. So this function will just note down the old color of the original pixel there where it was applied the first time, and then call this recursive function with the same value but one extra parameter, old color, because it will be needed in the subsequent recursive calls. So let's define this recursive function. So we will add the bound checks. If x less than 0 or y less than 0 or x greater than equal to 10 or y greater than equal to 10, then return. And additionally, if the pixel value for this is not equal to old color, then return. Otherwise we will set the pixel value to the new color, and then call this same function recursively for all the four neighbors of x and y. So x plus 1 y, new color and old color, and let's copy it. Then x minus y, y plus 1, y minus 1. So this will start from the original value that we will feed to the flood fill algorithm, and this in turn will first set the value of this pixel, then call the same function for all the 4 neighbors of this pixel, and they will end whenever they either reach the boundary or there is no more neighboring pixel with the same color. So this function should take care of everything. Now let's call this flood fill on our original function, original data, grid data, and we were doing it for this 3 4 position, 0 1 2 3 3 4, and new color was 5, and after that we have to print the new grid that is created after the flood fill is done. Now let's run it and see whether the value of 2 is updated or not. So we will compare it with the original grid. So we had applied it at this position, this 2. So these 3 2's should be 5. So this is correctly converting it to 5. Then 2 5's, here 2 2's, then 1 2 and 2 2, here 1 5 and 2 5's, and here also 2 5, and the same thing here, and then finally in this row 3 2's, so 3 5's here. So it correctly replaces all these connected 2 values to the 5 value. So this was a pretty simple algorithm, and its level is also on the scale of 1 to 10. I would give somewhere around 4. So this is also a candidate for telephonic as well as face-to-face interviews for starting the interview process. And once you successfully answer this question, you may expect some more tougher questions in the interview. And if you are not able to somehow solve this question, then this may send a negative impact on the interviewer. So keep practicing, and all the best for your Google interviews, and stay updated for my further videos on Google interview questions. Thank you.